Today we're going to talk about the SLP Burn since Axie Origin Season 0 has been introduced, and what does that mean for the SLP price. Now we can see that from mid-July the burn has been quite a lot higher. You can see that right here, 29 million SLP burned while only 18 million SLP being minted, and that seems to be the trend for the whole of this graph. Maybe around these 2 days the mint was outperforming burn, but you can see towards the end stages of August the burn was actually higher than the amount that was minted, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First and foremost, SLP cannot be minted during Season 0. I believe there's a 30-day block that they have introduced for SLP to not be minted, so that there's no issues created once they implement that minting strategy into Origin, because that's the first time they are transforming from V2 to Origin, so they don't want to create any issues. So you can see the burn being quite high, and I don't think these numbers actually have what has been deposited into the game. So there's about maybe over 100, I mean it's for sure over 100 million, but I don't have the exact figure. Over 100 million SLP has been deposited into the game to use for crafting. I'm not sure if these numbers have that included, but those numbers are still not that big, because when we zoom out you can see the amount of minted SLP over the course of 2021. I mean, every single day at least 100 million SLP was being created. So now that we burn a couple million more than we mint, it doesn't really matter that much, because there's still a supply of 45 billion SLP. Now obviously there's not that many players that play in the game as there used to be, and the game is in Season 0 and it hasn't really been promoted or marketed, and we are also in bear market. So all of these factors have to be included, but it does add up, right? Maybe once we enter the bull market and people start playing the game a lot more, because the SLP or just general price of tokens will start going up, then we can see that burn and mint being a lot higher. And with future seasons and introduction of new runes as well as new charms and people depositing more SLP to burn inside of the game, we will see that number being quite high. Now you can see the circulating supply of SLP is 43 billion SLP, and I don't think this actually has all the SLP that are sitting on the Ronin or the Ethereum chain. I'm not sure which one it is, but I think it's a little bit more than that. So 43 billion SLP, and if we are burning 5 million a day, it doesn't really matter in the long term, right? It needs to be a lot higher for this to have an impact on the price. Now the price is currently sitting at 0.037, which is disgustingly low. If we look at the prices that it used to be at previously, it hasn't really moved that much. Maybe it goes to 0.05 sometimes, but you can see the volume has dropped down all the way to 20 million. People are not that interested in burning the SLP through depositing into the game, and they are not that interested in breeding new Axies, even though there has been a summer event for breeding, right? It has been all throughout the last month, and that still didn't have an impact. So unless there's a big surge of players, the SLP price is not really, it's possibly not going to go up unless there's a big surge that is burning SLP and not only withdrawing. Now with how Origin is structured, it's going to be a lot harder to mint a lot of SLP and take it out of the game. It's more just sitting inside of the game and being burned for runes and charms. So that's the current update on SLP. The burn is increasing, but it's not increasing at a rate where it's going to have an impact on the SLP price. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.